Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, we're going to learn how to use what if in making suggestions or ideas at home, at school, at studies, or even in funny imagination. And don't you worry, I have prepared 3 sample responses for you to learn, study, and practice. Number 1, at school. What if we fail the exam tomorrow? Don't worry, we'll study harder tonight. What if we fail the exam tomorrow? Then we'll just try again next time. What if we fail the exam tomorrow? Maybe the teacher will give extra points. Number 2, what if the teacher asks us to present first? We'll just do our best. What if the teacher asks us to present first? We can ask for more time if needed. Number 3, what if you forget your homework? I'll borrow a paper and rewrite it quickly. What if you forget your homework? I'll just tell the teacher honestly. What if you forget your homework? I'll accept the deduction. Number 4, what if the internet doesn't work during the online class? I'll use mobile data. What if the internet doesn't work during the online class? I'll ask a friend to update me. What if the internet doesn't work during the online class? I'll message the teacher. Number 5, what if we don't finish the project on time? We can request an extension. What if we don't finish the project on time? We'll submit what we have. What if we don't finish the project on time? We'll work overnight. Number 6, what if your best friend forgets your birthday? I'll just remind them. What if your best friend forgets your birthday? It's okay, I won't get mad. What if your best friend forgets your birthday? Maybe They'll surprise me later. Number 7. What if we get lost in the mall? Let's meet at the entrance. What if we get lost in the mall? We can call each other. What if we get lost in the mall? We'll just explore together. 8. What if no one shows up at the party? At least we'll have the food to ourselves. What if no one shows up at the party? We can still enjoy. What if no one shows up at the party? Maybe they're just late. 9. What if your friend doesn't keep your secret? I'll stop sharing personal stuff. What if your friend doesn't keep your secret? I'll talk to them seriously. What if your friend doesn't keep your secret? I'll forgive them once. Number 10. What if we bump into your crush? Act normal. What if we bump into your crush? Just smile. What if we bump into your crush? Run away. 11 is daily life. What if it rains later? I'll bring an umbrella. What if it rains later? We'll just stay indoors. What if it rains later? We can play in the rain. Number 12. What if there's no food at home? We'll order delivery. What if there's no food at home? I'll cook something simple. What if there's no food at home? We'll just eat outside. 13. What if we miss the bus? We can take the next one. What if we miss the bus? We'll walk if it's near. What if we miss the bus? We'll ride a taxi. 14. What if the lights suddenly go out? We'll use candles. What if the lights suddenly go out? I'll check the breaker. What if the lights suddenly go out? We'll just sleep early. 15. What if we ran out of money? We'll budget carefully. What if we ran out of money? I'll borrow from a friend. What if we ran out of money? We'll look for part-time work. 16. What if mom gets angry? We'll apologize. What if mom gets angry? We'll explain everything. What if mom gets angry? We'll stay quiet. 17. What if dad doesn't allow us? We'll respect his decision. What if dad doesn't allow us? We'll ask mom instead. What if dad doesn't allow us? We'll try to convince him. 18. What if your little brother cries? I'll give him a toy. What if your little brother cries? I'll distract him with a game. What if your little brother cries? I'll just let him calm down. 19. What if the baby wakes up? We'll sing a lullaby. What if the baby wakes up? We'll give milk. What if the baby wakes up? We'll carry her. 20. What if we can't go on vacation? We'll just have fun at home. What if we can't go on vacation? Maybe next time. What if we can't go on vacation? We can go somewhere nearby. 21. Future plans. Future or plans. What if you don't pass the entrance exam? I'll try another school. What if you don't pass the entrance exam? I'll take the test again. What if you don't pass the exam? I'll explore other options. 22. What if you become rich one day? I'll buy a big house. What if you become rich one day? I'll travel the world. What if you become rich one day? I'll help my family. 23. What if you meet a celebrity? I'll ask for a photo. What if you meet a celebrity? I'll stay calm. What if you meet a celebrity? I'll just wave. 24. What if you can't reach your dream? I'll find another path. What if you can't reach your dream? I'll work harder. What if you can't reach your dream? I'll never give up. 25. What if we move to another city? We'll make new friends. What if we move to another city? We'll miss our old home. What if we move to another city? We'll just adjust quickly. 26. What if aliens visit Earth? I'll take a selfie with them. What if aliens visit Earth? I'll hide. What if aliens visit Earth? I'll try to talk to them. 27. What if your phone falls in the toilet? I'll cry. What if your phone falls in the toilet? I'll try to dry it. What if your phone falls in the toilet? I'll buy a new one. 28. What if we eat 10 pizzas? We'll get a stomach ache. What if we eat 10 pizzas? We'll feel happy but full. What if we eat 10 pizzas? We'll regret it. 29. What if the teacher forgets to give homework? Lucky day! What if the teacher forgets to give homework? I won't remind them. What if the teacher forgets to give homework? I'll just enjoy my free time. 30. What if animals could talk? I talk to my dog every day. What if animals could talk? I'd ask the cat why it's always angry. What if animals could talk? I'll be friends with a bird. 31. Scenarios and what if problems. What if we're late for class? We'll explain to the teacher. What if we're late for class? We'll sneak in quietly. What if we're late for class? We'll accept the consequence. 32. What if the Wi-Fi stops working? I'll restore the router. What if the Wi-Fi stops working? I'll use mobile data. What if the Wi-Fi stops working? I'll do offline work. What if the Wi-Fi stops working? I'll do offline work. 33. What if your laptop breaks? I'll borrow one. What if your laptop breaks? I'll save money to fix it. What if your laptop breaks? I'll use the computer shop. 34. What if the teacher gives a surprise quiz? I'll do my best. What if the teacher gives a surprise quiz? I'll review more next time. What if the teacher gives us a surprise quiz? I'll hope it's easy. 35. What if your friend gets sick? I'll visit them. What if your friend gets sick? I'll send them a message. What if your friend gets sick? I'll bring medicine. 36. What if you could fly? I'll travel anywhere. What if you could fly? I'd never need a bus. What if you could fly? I'd see the world from above. 37. What if you win the lottery? I'll buy a car. What if you win the lottery? I'll share with my family. What if you win the lottery? I'll save the money. 38. What if you had super strength? I'd help people. What if you had super strength? I'd join competitions. What if you had super strength? I'd never carry bags again. 39. What if you were invisible? I'd sneak into movies. What if you were invisible? I'd play pranks. What if you were invisible? and explore freely. 40. What if robots replace teachers? Classes would be weird. What if robots replace teachers? Maybe it would be fun. What if robots replaced teachers? I'd miss real teachers. 41. What if we don't take care of nature? The earth will suffer. What if we don't take care of nature? Future generations will struggle. What if we don't take care of nature? We'll lose resources. 42. What if we never say sorry? Friendship will break. What if we never say sorry? People will get hurt. What if we never say sorry? We won't grow. 43. What if nobody studies hard? The future will be unprepared. What if nobody studies hard? Many dreams will fail. What if nobody studies hard? Society won't progress. 44. What if we never forgive? Life will be bitter. What if we never forgive? Peace won't exist. What if we never forgive? We'll always carry pain. 45. What if kindness disappears? The world will be cruel. What if kindness disappears? People will only think of themselves. What if kindness disappears? People will only think of themselves. What if kindness disappears? Life will feel empty. 46. What if you forget your password? I'll reset it. What if you forget your password? I'll write it down next time. What if you forget your password? I'll ask for help. 47. What if we don't sleep tonight? We'll feel tired tomorrow. What if we don't sleep tonight? We can watch movies instead. What if we don't sleep tonight? We'll drink lots of coffee. 48. What if you drop your phone? I'll check it if it still works. What if you drop your phone? I'll be more careful. 49. What if we cook too much food? We'll store it in the fridge. What if we cook too much food? We'll share with neighbors. What if we cook too much food? We'll eat it tomorrow. 50. What if tomorrow never comes? We should live today fully. What if tomorrow never comes? We must say, I love you now. What if tomorrow never comes? We should be thankful always. We used what if when we want to talk about imaginary or hypothetical situations, future possibilities, good or bad, giving warnings or showing worry, making suggestions or ideas, and expressing regret or doubt. In short, use what if for imagining, suggesting, warning, worrying, or doubting. The process of learning in this way is similar to how a child learns to speak. There's no pressure. Your only task is to listen. Treat yourself like a child who is just beginning to speak. Listen and try to pronounce everything you hear in this video until your tongue no longer stumbles. Repeated listening is an even more effective method. Always keep these words in mind whenever you watch our videos. You are making progress. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos.